Now, listen to me, Mr. Simpson.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore, Mr. Fletcher. We don't have to rely on your protection. I raised the earth. I'm bailing Caroline and her mother out. What do you think about that?
In addition to filling the nutritional needs and preferences of each animal, the orphanage provides them with...
Hey, June, you fancy a couple of hands?
No.
The environments are geared to the animals...
What about you, Viv?
What? Oh, cards. No, I don't play. I don't know how.
Terrific. We'll play for money.
It is fed succulent plants which contain lots of water, as well as hay.
That old geezer, he talks about wild animals like they're his mates or something.
You'd know all about that with your friends. Gilmore, back to your cell.
What for, Miss Spinner?
We're going to have a little look around to make sure it's nice and tidy. I didn't tell you to move, Latham.
It's my cell and all.
We know how tidy you are. Outside.
And dependent orphans. Many animals are hand-fed. In the process, definite and strong relationships develop between...
Praise the Lord, a partner. If I'd played one more hand of patience, I would have gone mad.
Bea, I've got to have a word with you.
What's the matter?
Judy caught me.
Oh, bloody hell, she try and thump you?
No, she never laid a finger on me. She just stood there in the doorway watching. Made me feel creepy. I made some stupid excuse and just went. She never even tried to stop me.
It's the truth. And Vinegar's doing a cell search now. I suppose Judy would get rid of the stuff straight away.
Yeah. Here goes a good plan up the spout.
He's turning the place upside down. What are you looking for?
If we find it, you'll be the first to know.
Having trouble getting to sleep, are you, Gilmore? Half a dozen Valium. And what are these little pills, eh? Uppers, downers?
Well, can't you see he set me up, Miss Bennett? It's all a frame.
You'll have your chance to tell your story to the governor tomorrow morning. Take it to solitary. I'll lock the others in.
I tell you, they're not mine. It's not fair.
Look,
It's
shut
always
up, Gilmore.
me. Hi, love. What's up?
Look inside, bro. Come on.
Sharon, what's going on? What's
Come
happening?
on, stand back, you
Oh,
lot.
I had nothing to do with it.
What do you mean?
They played a dope on me so they could throw me in the
Any more?
power.
Everyone
I want you lot up to yourselves. Now, come on, move it. Move it, Latham. Come on now, keep
What do you reckon?
Maybe she didn't see me stash the drugs away. I don't know. I could have sworn she did.
Oh. What's the matter? I thought Carolyn was here.
Nope. There's nobody here but us roosters.
Mr. Fletcher, Carolyn isn't back yet?
No, not yet. She was granted permission to see a visitor. Your son-in-law's raised the bail.
Oh! You're getting out then, are you, love?
Yes.
I bet you're pleased about that.
Oh, of course. Why, what do you mean?
Well, you're not exactly at home here, are you? You're not really used to rubbing shoulders with crims, eh?
No.
And there are some strange types in here, too.
Yes.
Listen, you got someone waiting for you on the outside? A lover or something?
Certainly not.
Oh, well, I thought maybe you'd killed your husband. There was a reason.
I didn't kill him. Carolyn...
It's none of my business.
Bloody men.
Oh, Carolyn, Michael has managed to raise our bail.
Who told you?
Mr. Fletcher.
Well, he had no right to. Mr. Michael Simpson can shove his bail money.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's quite prepared to bail us out, provided we go and live with him.
Well, it is a big house.
No, Mum. Put up with his snivelling, his crawling, his inefficiency for 18 months. I'm not going back to it.
Good on you, love. Don't you let a man get you under his thumb.
Someone's asking for a repeat of The Ascent of Man. That's a damn good idea. You should watch that if it comes back on again. Help you with your studies.
I don't see how anthropology is going to help me with studying stresses on cantilever bridges.
Listen, do you mind if I switch this garbage off? You're not watching anything particular, are you?
No, sure.
Oh, by the way, I've invited Meg Jackson over for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, terrific, Dad. Why don't you ask her to go out to dinner instead, you know? Soft lights, music, all that.
Why?
Oh, well, you know, it's first date. You want to make a good impression on her.
Both Meg and I are beyond being impressed by overpriced restaurants, and besides, this will be much nicer.
Oh, right, yeah, of course. Well, look, don't worry, Dad. I'll make sure that I'm out of the way.
Well, I'd rather you didn't, because I've invited Meg specifically to meet you.
Oh, just to meet me?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I'll make sure I'm here then. Oh, by the way, am I cooking or are you?
If you remember, Tony, we agreed that if I were to invite Meg for dinner, you would be doing the cooking.
Yeah.
Good night, Tony.
Night, Dad.
Showers. Showers, ladies. Bright, after breakfast, you can take the dirty linen to the laundry.
Why should I? I'm on remand. I don't have to work.
It's amazing how soon you lot learn the rules.
Well, seeing that you've asked me so nicely, I might do you the favor. I was bored anyway.
Congratulations.
What for?
Well, your husband told me he'd raised the bail. You'll be out of here today.
No, I won't, and neither will my mother. And I wish you hadn't said anything to her.
Well, as a prisoner, she's entitled to know if she's getting bail.
Well, she's not. I turned down my darling husband's offer. He expects too much in return. And I wish you'd keep your nose out of our business.
I'll remind you, you're talking to an officer.
Fine. Let's just keep it that way. Sir.
Just remember what you are and where you are. You take that tone of voice with me again and I'll slap you on a charge. You're a prisoner. Get used to the idea. Because as long as you're in here, that's just how you're going to be treated.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Oh, Mrs. Davidson, you'll be pleased to know your plan worked.
Oh, which plan is that?
Setting a thief to catch a thief. B. Smith reported a stash of drugs in Gilmore's cell last night. Mr. Fletcher and I found them.
Where is she now?
In solitary.
Fine. Bring her to my office in 10 minutes.
I wonder how the other women will take it if they find out their beloved B is a lagger.
I'm sure there's no one on staff who will tell them.
Of course not. But these things have a way of getting round.
Where do I dump these?
Oh, in there.
Volunteered for work. Sort of. I got asked to bring these up here by Mr. Fletcher.
Yeah, you better run in with Fletcher the Lech, eh?
Yeah. I don't think he likes me very much.
Yeah, well, he's got big eyes for Caroline. Probably sees you as some kind of threat.
Yeah. A lot of people seem to feel threatened around here.
Now, what do you mean?
Seems to me that someone thinks that Sharon's getting a bit too much influence, so they set her up to get her out of the way for a while.
Yeah? Now, is that right?
That's the way I see it. Now, you wouldn't, have any idea who that could be, would you?
Not a one. Funny how your mind goes blank.
Oh, isn't it? Pat O'Connell's a friend of yours, isn't she?
Yeah, so what?
Oh, I just thought maybe you and she had cooked up a little joke to play on Sharon.
You calling me a lagger?
Oh, no. But I have heard that you've got a thing about drugs, and you might not like what's been going on around here. You were just a possibility, that's all. I might have to talk to the Screws. They might know who it could be.
Yeah, they might. The way Sharon was handing out pills like they were minties. It was only a matter of time before she got caught. Well, what are you like gawping at? Smoko Bell gone already?
How come Sharon ended up in solitary, eh?
What's the matter? Missing your girlfriend already?
You and Pat conned me. You were supposed to frame Judy.
Keep your voice down.
Why? Afraid of being known as a lagger?
These days, making you and her too far just once too often.
You can't deny that drugs were found in your possession.
I've told you. I was set up.
I find that hard to believe, considering you're in here on a trafficking charge and your friend was caught trying to smuggle drugs in here.
It's true.
We thought that Bryant was the only person smuggling the drugs in, but obviously you have another source of supply.
Have I?
The prison was searched from top to bottom yesterday and nothing was found. These drugs were found last night. You must have received them after the search.
They couldn't have looked too well. Obviously someone had them stashed so they could plant them on me. Did they frisk B. Smith?
Smith is the last person to be found handling drugs. I thought you knew that.
Somebody set me up. And I wouldn't put it past her.
Gilmore, I will ask you once more. Where did these drugs come from?
I tell you, I don't know anything about them.
Very well. You will be charged with possession of prohibited drugs and appear before the visiting justice tomorrow. Until that time, you will remain in solitary. Thank you, Miss Bennett.
Oh, that's the name of the game, isn't it? Come on. You get charged with something and you're number one suspect every time. Well, what about Chrissy? I'm not the only one in that cell, you know.
Come in. Morning, Jim. What can I do for you?
Two of the women, Carolyn Simpson and Vivian Williams. They're eligible for bail.
Oh, yes, I'm aware of that. Don't they have relatives who could put up the bail? That husband of Carolyn's, he wouldn't be short of a quid, would he?
Apparently he offered. Simpson turned him down. Personal reason, she said.
Oh, really? Well, that's a pity. And I don't see that there's anything I can do for them.
No, I understand that. Well, I got the money. I could put it up.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. Why shouldn't I be?
I can think of a dozen reasons. The department's attitude, for one. And what would your wife think about it?
You're assuming a hell of a lot, aren't you? I'm not just in this job for the lousy money, you know. I happen to be interested in people, too. Vivian Williams is unwell. She's not used to a life in an institution like this. If she stays here much longer, she's going to get a hell of a lot worse. And there's nothing that you or I can do about that.
You're probably right. Okay, are you prepared to be named in court as going surety?
Is that necessary?
Of course it's necessary. They'll have to be signed over to you as an assurance that they will appear for the trial.
Well, haven't they got a relative or someone who'd be prepared to be nominated if I put up the money?
I don't know. I suppose I could find out for you, if you're determined to go ahead with this.
Yes. Yes, I am.
B. Smith has bashed so many people because of drugs. I can hardly see her having some delivered just to frame someone. Now, I know she said she'd
Her
help.
credibility with the women would certainly drop if it were true. Sit down, Chrissy. By rights, I should put you into solitary.
Why, what have I done?
A quantity of drugs was found in your dormitory last night. They could be either yours or Sharon's.
I don't know nothing about it.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm bloody sure. Look, if you're going to put me in the pound, get it over and done with.
Watch your tongue, Latham.
Did you plant those drugs on Sharon?
No, I never. She's my friend.
Chrissy, you choose the most unlikely people as friends. I think it's about time you faced up to your responsibilities.
What do you mean by that?
You are a mother with a very small and vulnerable child to take care of.
Well, what's Elizabeth got to do with it? You've already taken away me visiting rights.
It amazes me that because your daughter is out of sight, you can transfer your love to a person such as Sharon.
Hey? What you on about? Elizabeth means more to me than Sharon does.
Does she? You seem prepared to go to solitary for Sharon's sake. Do you think she'd do the same for you? Especially now that her friend, Judy Bryant, is in here with her. And there are also your visiting rights to consider. I want to know how those drugs came to be in the prison. If you won't tell me...
It was Judy Bryant. She brought the stuff in. She was trying to get Sharon to sell it on the inside.
I know about the first lot, but how did they get the other in after the last search?
They were already here. You never searched Mr. Reed's office. They were hidden in a toy elephant.
I see.
Judy must have heavied one of the women into hiding it there. She's been stirring a lot.
Well, thank you, Chrissy. You've been very helpful.
Can I get to see Elizabeth again?
I shall see.
I stuck me neck out by telling you.
I will let you know.
Move out, Latham.
You will allow her to have visiting rights again?
Yes, of course, but it won't do her any harm to be on tenterhooks for a while. Would you bring Judy Bryant in, please, Meg?
Oh, Meg.
Oh, morning, Paul.
Could you let me through to see Caroline Simpson, please?
Sure. I'm just going down to get Judy Bryant.
Fine. Well, still okay for dinner tonight?
Of course. Oh, unless you want to call it off.
Oh, no, of course not. Perhaps I should tell you that one of the reasons I've asked you home is because of my son, Tony. Since his mother died, there seemed to be something missing. Obviously, a woman's influence. So I thought that if I could prove to him that I'm capable of normal social behaviour, some of it might rub off.
Only too happy to help.
You're not offended?
Of course not.
That's good.
Although I did know there was an ulterior motive.
Thanks. Well, Tony's getting everything ready. I can't promise you anything exotic, but it should be interesting.
Good.
Hello? Oh, hi, Sal. What's up? Sure, never knocked back a chance of seeing you. When? Oh, look, I'm sorry, love. I can't make it tonight. Dad's bringing home some bird and I've got to stick around and meet her. Yeah, well, you know how it is. It's the first time he's brought someone home since Mum died and, well, he wouldn't have a clue. I've got to stick around and make sure he does the right thing. Hey, you sure you're all right? You sound a bit uptight or something. Oh. When do you find out? Yeah, well, make sure you give us a ring and let us know, won't you? Yeah, sure. See you later.
The clue is into an alteration for a country. What could that be?
I don't know, darling. Probably an anagram.
Oh, come on, Mum. You used to be good at crosswords.
Nation.
I beg your pardon?
Nation. Into and turned around.
Some of the women were saying that it was the officers who planted those drugs in Sharon's cell.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But that's awful. They should be reported.
Who to? I mean, they'd do anything to keep Sharon and I apart because of the scandal.
Well, how silly. Why on earth should there be a scandal?
Mum, Judy and Sharon are very close friends. They live together on the outside.
Well, so did we, darling, and they let us share a cell.
Bryant, Mrs. Davidson wants to see you in her office.
See you later, kids.
Paul Reed to see you.
Thanks, Meg. It's about your bail. Do you have any relatives who could go surety for you?
Michael could have got us out.
Michael wanted too much in return.
I'm sorry, Mr. Reed. I do have a sister, Charlotte, who lives in Geelong, and my brother in Albury, but I'm afraid they wouldn't be able to raise that kind of money.
Oh, the money's already been taken care of. All we need is somebody who can be named in court, somebody that you can be signed over to, sort of a guarantor.
What do you mean the money's been taken care of?
Somebody has come forward with the bail.
Who?
I can't tell you that.
Michael bloody Simpson.
Carolyn!
That's just the sort of sneaky thing he'd do.
It is not your husband.
Then who is it?
I can't tell you that, but please don't knock it back. Just think of the effect this place is having on your mother.
No. We won't accept it.
Carolyn, we could get out of here.
Haven't you always said never to accept charity?
Yes.
And there's your answer, Mr. Reed.
What's going on, a union meeting?
Bea, we've got a stack of stuff in the kitchen. I'll have to take the basket.
Hey, hang on. What's the word around the place?
Oh, I don't think you'd win any popularity poll at the moment. Sharon bought herself a lot of friends with those drugs.
Well, what do you want?
What's this then? New plot to frame Judy. Well, I've saved you the job. I've been to see Mrs. Davidson. I told her a few things about her.
Blabbermouth Latham strikes again.
You ought to thank me. At least I got her out of your hair.
Well, you better hope she gets the long stretch in the pound. Because she's not going to be too pleased with you, what with lagging on her and messing with her girlfriend. You and me better stay friends, just in case you need a little help.
I don't need you.
Then I'd build up those muscles if I were you. Help Pat fetch the stuff from the kitchen.
Jim, can I see you for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
I've just spoken to Carolyn Simpson. She refuses to accept bail unless she knows where the money's coming from.
Stupid bride. Can't you see what it's doing to her mother?
Well,
I'll have a word with her, see what I can do.
you sure?
Yeah, of course I'm sure.
Jim, be careful, huh?
Mr. Fletcher, can you let us through to the laundry?
Oh, yes, I suppose so. There you go.
Ta. They're an earth and mucky lot in that kitchen. I've never seen so much dirty washing.
I'll give you something to do then, won't it?
Mr. Fletcher!
What's the matter, Chrissy? You think I'd be in solitary by now?
Well, why should I think that?
I've just had a little talk to the governor. Now, I've admitted bringing those drugs in. After all, that's why I'm here. But then she asked me something about an elephant. Now, I told her I didn't know anything about it. And it would just be my word against yours. Isn't that right, Chrissy?
If you lay a finger on me, Bea'll have you. Any bashing done around here, she does it.
If I wanted to bash you, sweetheart, Bea wouldn't stop me.
Well, if you knew about them drugs, how come you didn't warn Sharon? How come you let her take the rap?
Got her away from you, didn't it? I've been after Sharon to stop peddling drugs for years. Maybe a stretch in solitary will teach her a lesson.
We want to know something.
Far away?
Did you set up Sharon like Judy said?
You calling me a lagger?
Could be.
Now, why would I want to do that?
You crack down on dope harder than the screws. Some of the women like a little something every now and then. Relieves the boredom. Sharon could have got it for us.
Over my dead body.
You're giving us the choice.
The only choice you've got is whether you're on my side or against me. Take Chrissy, for instance. She knows which side her bread's buttered on.
You can't have it your own way all the time, Bea. I've just had a very friendly chat with Judy.
What are you lot doing? Get back to work.
Been nice knowing you, Bea.
Ma'am.
Carolyn, I just want to get some sleep.
You've got to do something instead of just moping around.
We don't have to be in here.
We've been through all that.
Simpson, outside.
Why?
Because I told you to. I understand you refused an offer of bail.
What's it to you?
Why did you refuse?
Our family is not in the habit of accepting charity from strangers.
Oh, stop being so bloody priggish. Can't you see what it's doing to your mother?
Why are you so interested? You put up the money, didn't you?
All you need is somebody who's willing to be nominated. I can't, because I'm a job.
Look, can't you just leave me alone?
Accept the offer and you won't have to see me every day.
I won't be obligated to you.
For God's sake, there's no obligation. You've got to accept it because of your mother.
All right. For my mother, but not for me. Just get off my back.
I'll need that name and address.
I'll give you my aunt's address in Geelong and my uncle's in Albury.
Lizzie, have you seen my handbag?
In the bedroom where you left it. What would you like for an engagement, Presidor?
Oh, I don't know, anything you can afford. Whereabouts in the bedroom?
In the wardrobe. I'll be able to afford anything I like when I get my compo. I'll be almost a millionaire.
I found it. You got to get that money yet. It'll be just like me mum's will. They'll keep you waiting as long as they can. I better go. I'll be late.
Where you off to?
I'm going shopping with Kevin's mum for my trousseau.
Gee, I love a shopping spree. I wish I could come too.
Oh, well, you're welcome. She's a real pain in the neck. Bloody stuck-up bitch.
I thought you got on all right last night.
Oh, I suppose so. But she's always on about how much she's got and how successful Kevin's going to be, and it's just like I'm nothing.
Look, you got your mum's house and you're going to have some money. You're as good as she is any day, love.
No, I don't feel it sometimes.
Oh, go on. You'll get on all right, you see.
Yeah. Till she finds out I've got a prison record, then it'll really hit the fan. Oh, well, see you later.
Bye, Dor. Don't spend too much money.
Haven't got much to spend.
Hi, g'day.
You're pushing your luck leaving the laundry. The lunch bell hasn't gone yet.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a bit healthier to get out of the laundry for a while, so I told Vera that I had an attack of the trots.
Why?
Margot and some of her mates getting a bit stroppy.
Oh, no.
Nothing I can't handle.
Oh, well, take it easy, Bea. You can't do much if you get stuck back in isolation again.
Yeah, well, a good bashing is all some people understand. Listen, keep your ear to the ground for me, will you? I want to know who I can rely on if it comes to the crunch.
Oh, there's plenty still want you in charge. But Judy's just had all the luck so far, and she's so cool and collected about it.
Come on, O'Connell, get moving. Bea, why aren't you in the laundry?
Lunch, Mrs. Jackson.
Come in.
Simpson and Williams to see you?
Oh, good. Thank you, Mrs. Jackson. Oh, sit down, ladies, please. Well, I'm afraid I've struck a bit of a problem with your bail. I've been in touch with your brother and sister, Mrs. Williams, and they have refused to stand surety.
Wonderful. Lovely, close-knit family.
Oh, Carolyn, darling, be fair. They do have their own families to consider, you know.
Well, your family too, Mum.
Well, it's not the end of the world. There are other alternatives. Mrs. Williams, do you have anywhere you could stay if and when you're released from here?
Oh, only back home.
Oh, no, Carolyn. No, I couldn't, darling. The neighbours...
Well, it's either that or stay here.
Can't you come with me?
It's possible. The offer is still open.
I only agreed for your sake. You shouldn't be in here. You're sick.
I need you.
You can manage. Once you get out of here and back into familiar surroundings.
All right. Here's what we'll do. I will have you signed over to me. That way I can keep an eye on you and make sure you don't skip the country, right?
Thanks, Mr. Reed. She'll do it.
You're very kind.
Oh, don't mention it. It's all part of my job. Meantime, I'll get in touch with the police, let them know what's happened, and I'm sure we'll have a release order for you this afternoon. And then it will be my pleasure to drive you home.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Reed.
Want a sandwich, Mum?
No, thank you, Kevin. Are you sure they don't mind you taking time off to drive us into town?
No worries. Standard lunch hour. If the bosses can do it, why can't the workers?
You'll be a boss yourself one day. I doubt if you'll feel that way then.
Oh, what's it matter as long as the work gets done? Oh, that'll be door.
Not before time.
Oh, g'day, love. Gee, you look terrific.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. Good afternoon, Mrs. Burns.
Hello, dear. Ready for our little outing?
Yeah, yes.
I'll just freshen up and then we'll be off.
Kevin, I don't think I can keep this up.
Why? You're doing fine. She really likes you.
Yeah, but have you told her about me?
No, not yet.
Yeah, well, she'll change her mind when you do.
Rubbish. Look, you thought the same about me at first, remember? No, just give her time. She'll be sweet.
I hope you're right.
Our little lovebirds having a peck, are they?
Mum.
Well, we better be off, eh?
Yeah, all right. Mrs. Burns, Miss Anderson, your transport is waiting.
Thank you.
Oh, now I do think that's very you. Beige is the height of fashion this season. Yeah, but I think these are rather nice. Do you? Well, I don't think they're quite the thing for young girls going away outfits. And, talking of going away, have you decided where to go for your honeymoon?
Oh, yeah, we thought we'd go to a motel somewhere in the country.
Doreen, a honeymoon is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, you know. It's worth a little splurge.
Yeah, well, we didn't want it to cost too much because Kevin wants to put a deposit on his truck.
Well, of course, that's very commendable, too. Oh, now that's nice.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Perhaps not. Now tell me, dear, what do you need to buy?
Well, I thought I'd buy some nice frilly nighties.
Oh, my dear, an absolute waste of money, believe me. Men never appreciate them, and they're so impracticable. I'll bet we'd buy some sensible cotton ones. And they're warmer in winter, too.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, I don't like to say this, dear, but I do think I know Kevin a little better than you do. And believe me,
I can't stay there by myself, Carolyn.
Please, Mum. Try, for my sake.
What's wrong with her?
We've managed to organise bail for her, but she's upset because I'll be staying here. We couldn't raise enough for both of us.
Carolyn, I'm sure Miss Bryant doesn't want to hear our personal affairs.
Pat, listen, you take the meals up to the solitary block, don't you?
Why?
I want you to give this to Sharon.
Oh, I don't know. The screws watch pretty closely. I could get into trouble.
And how much trouble do you think you'd get into if I told them you planted that stuff on her? Or maybe you'd like me to plant something on you instead.
All right, I'll try.
And remember, it's personal.
What's up? Judy. She caught me in the corridor. Wants me to take this note to Sharon.
Oh, does she now?
Well, what'll I do? She'll thump me if I don't deliver it.
Trust your Auntie B. This might make interesting reading. I think I'll read it tonight before I go to bed and pretend it's from a fella.
But what'll I say to her?
Tell her you delivered it. She's not going to be seeing Sharon for a while to find out any different.
But Sharon won't be in the pound forever.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Could you get these typed before we go home, please?
Mrs. Davidson, I'm about to relieve you of one of your charges.
Bail. I hope you haven't committed the cardinal sin.
What's that?
Don't get personally involved.
Oh, no. Somebody else is taking care of the bail, but they choose to remain anonymous, so this is the only way I can see of getting Mrs. Williams out.
Could you arrange for Vivian Williams' release, please, Mr. Fletcher?
Yes, certainly. I've got a couple of things to do in my office, and then I'll drive her home, so I'll meet you by the gate, huh?
Fine.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher.
No problems?
None at all.
Now, let me see. There's Uncle Norm and Aunt Hazel, and yes, I think that's about all from our side. Now, tell me, dear, who will be coming from your side?
Oh, well, I'm not too sure. See, I don't think anybody can come.
Oh, of course they will. A wedding is a social gathering.
Oh. Well, Lizzie?
Lizzie?
Yeah, she's my auntie. On my dad's side.
Oh, Aunt Elizabeth.
And I'd like to invite Mrs. Davidson.
Oh, yes, dear. And who is she?
She's the governor of Wentworth Prison.
Prison?
Oh, yeah, but her father's a High Court judge. Man, I think his name is.
Really?
She does real good work.
And, who else?
Well, I'd like to ask Karen, but I don't suppose she can come. She's in Queensland. She's married to a doctor.
Oh, a doctor?
I can't ask Lynn.
because I don't have her address anymore.
Was that Lynn, dear?
Lynn Warner. Wonky Warner, we used to call her. She was one of my best friends in... Oh, where I used to work. Anyway, I don't suppose she can come anyway.
Well, who will be giving you away?
Giving me away?
Well, yes, I take it your father has passed on?
Oh, no, he shot through. Mum and him split up a long time ago, and we sort of lost touch.
Well, are there any male relatives who can give you away?
No. Don't suppose I'm being much help, am I?
Carolyn, do you know who put up the bail money?
No, I don't.
I think it was Uncle Charles.
Don't be silly, we haven't seen him for years.
Darling, why didn't you keep it for yourself?
Don't keep on about it, Mum.
Well, I just don't like leaving you alone in here.
I can look after myself. You just make sure you're all right.
I will be, don't worry.
Come on, Mrs. Williams, time to go.
Bye, darling. I'll come and visit you. Take care.
Let's go.
Bye, Mrs. W. Your mother doesn't know what to make of me, does she? Hey, come on. It's all right. You said yourself that your mother'd be better off outside. And you could have lots of friends in here if you really wanted to.
Oh, Meg, I'm sorry. I should be driving you home, but I've already arranged to take Mrs. Williams home.
Oh, that's okay.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll get her to her place, get her settled in, and then I'll come by your place and pick you up in about an hour.
Fine.
Well, I'll bet you're looking forward to sleeping in your own bed tonight.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. Come on, let's go, and you can have the privilege of making me a cup of tea.
See you tomorrow, Jim.
Yes, good night, Meg.
Gee, Dor, look like you spent a fortune. I won't even be able to afford to buy a minivan, let alone a truck at this rate.
Doreen's got very good taste, Kevin. Leave her alone. Oh, thank goodness we're home. I think we walked through every shop. I was going to cook us a little celebration dinner, but I'm afraid I'm absolutely exhausted.
Oh, well, I'll cook if you like.
Oh, how sweet of you. That would be lovely. I'll just go and powder my nose, and then I shall positively collapse.
Well, how did it go?
Oh, bloody awful. She picked out all this stuff, and I don't like any of it. Everything that I liked wasn't my style, or my colour, or my bloody age group. There's nothing about me she likes.
Oh, no, of course she likes you. I mean, she wouldn't trust you to cook dinner if she didn't like you.
You watch, everything will be wrong. I could be a cordon bleu chef and she'd still find fault.
Yeah, well, she can be a bit of a pain sometimes.
Kevin, you've got to tell her about me. I just can't stand this pretending all the time. I can't keep it up.
OK. Tonight, I promise. And look, don't worry about it. I'm sure it won't make any difference to the way she feels about you. I know her.
Right, well, here we are. Come in. Tony? Blasted radio. Excuse me, sir.
This is a nice flat.
Thank you. Sit down, sit down. Tony's probably out in the kitchen. I'll go and flush him out. Tony, come on, mate. We've got... That's odd. There's no sign of him, and he hasn't even started the meal.
Well, perhaps he's gone to get some takeaways.
Lord help us, and him, if he has. Listen, can I get you a drink?
Oh, yes. Have you any vermouth?
Sure. How do you like it?
With dry, if you've got it.
Right, fine. Yes, I can fix that. I better fix us something to eat, too. Otherwise, it'll be midnight before we dine. I'm sorry about all this.
Please, don't apologise.
Can't think where we would have got to.
Oh, don't worry. Come on, I'll give you a hand.
No. You sit down. You're here to have dinner, not to work. I'll get you your drink right away.
Oh, where's your mum?
At home, I hope.
Don't tell me she broke out.
On bail. She was released this afternoon.
I thought there wasn't any money for bail.
A friend of the family came forward.
Well, how come you're still in here?
Because we couldn't raise enough money for both of us, all right? Our friends aren't millionaires. Can I go now? Or is there something else you'd like to know?
You better watch out for Fletch to Letch now. Your mum isn't around to look after you. He'll be popping into your cell every night to tuck you in.
Oh, she'll be all right as long as I'm here. I'll see to that.
Well, C block's 100% behind Judy.
That figures. It's where most of the junkies are. What else?
Oh, you've got a bit of support from the others. But I don't know how long it'll last. Margot's spreading it around that you lagged on Sharon.
Bloody Margot's looking for a fat lip.
You can't be. The screws will be onto you in a flash. What are you going to do?
I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I am not going to let bloody Judy Bryant walk all over me. If she wants to take over in here, she's going to have to fight for it.
And you'll end up back in isolation.
We will see about that.
No. We'll leave the dishes until later.
You make somebody a wonderful wife one day.
Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, that was a delicious meal.
Oh, just plain ordinary tucker, I'm afraid. I'm not into experimenting with food like Tony is. Mind you, most of his experiments turn out to be failures anyway. And I wish I knew where he was.
Don't worry. Look, I've had a really enjoyable evening, and I'm sure he's quite all right.
That's just so damned annoying. He knew perfectly well that I wanted him to... The prodigal returns. Well. Where have you been?
I'm sorry, Mr. Reed. It was my fault.
Dad, this is Sally.
Sally? Tony, this is Meg Jackson, the lady I wanted you to meet.
Hello.
Hello, Tony.
Look, I'm really sorry about tonight, but something really urgent cropped up.
Don't apologise, Tony. I don't really mind doing all the things that you promised that you would do.
Mr. Reed, I phoned Tony and asked him to come round and see me. Well, I had to speak to him urgently.
Sally, I don't think this is any of your business. Tony knew that I wanted him to be here tonight.
Look, I've said I was sorry, all right? It couldn't be helped. Sally only found out today.
You found out what?
I'm pregnant.
That was beaut, Dor. It's real great.
Oh, thanks, love. Yes, very nice, Doreen. Of course, if you ever need any little tips on cooking, you can always ask me. After 30 years of cooking for the Burns family, it's amazing the little hints you pick up.
Yeah, thanks, I will.
Like gravy, for instance. You'll find you have to stir quite vigorously and continuously to avoid lumps, and just a pinch more salt in the potatoes brings out the flavour so much more. That's the way Kevin likes it, isn't it, dear?
That's right, Ma.
Oh, well, you'll have to excuse me, Mrs. Burns. I just remembered that I have to tuck Aunt Lizzie into bed, and it's getting late. So, thanks for a wonderful day, and for all the things you picked out for me.
Hang on, love. I'll see you home.
Oh, don't bother. You stay here and look after your precious mother. Bye, Mrs. Burns.
Hi, dear. Quite an impetuous young lady, isn't she?
Yeah, well, I don't think she's feeling the best, Mum. She's a real beaut girl, though, don't you think?
Yes, Kevin, I do think. You could do far worse than Doreen. She's so secretive about her past, though.
Yeah, well, she's had a pretty lousy time of it when she was a kid, Mum. Her old man, he was a real no-hoper and, well, he used to knock her around a bit.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah, and, well, then she got in with a wrong crowd, you know. She had a really rough trot of it for a while. Well, that's why I'm trying to make things up to her a bit at the moment, trying to help her over the last few years.
What do you mean, the last few years?
Well, you see, Doreen, she's been in and out of the pokey.
The pokey?
Prison. She's out on parole at the moment.
Prison?
I'll make you a cup of tea.